term as president, extending his 30 years in office. The Election Commission says the 71-year-old won 60.75% of the vote, while his nearest rival, Kizza Besigye, took 35%. For an update on this story, we are now joined by SABC correspondent in Uganda, Julius Mugambwa. Thank you very much for joining us, Julius. Now take us through the latest where you are.
The latest in Kampala, I should say, it is a jubilant mood, especially to the people in support of President Yoweri Museveni. These are people who have seen him through all the campaigns, and this is their time. It's what they were looking for. It's not a big surprise to them, because many of them expected to win. But again, to give you a flip side of this, it's a huge disappointment to the opposition, because now, in the first place, the main opposition leader, Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, who came second in this poll, still remains under house arrest. Police is surrounding his home and he cannot leave. But in a statement that he released, a statement also from a Twitter handle we believe is managed by his wife, Winnie Byanyima, says they do not accept the results.
Now, Julius, you've just given us the reaction from the opposition leader, but what has been the reaction on the ground on Museveni's victory?
In Kampala, where I am, we should say that Kampala is largely a stronghold for the opposition. I've driven throughout the city, especially after the announcement was made, and the city was largely quite safe for police patrols and military patrols. We've spoken to a number of people, and then we realized most people who are on the opposition side, they were really disappointed. And a few NRM guys, that is the ruling party supporters, were like, yes, we've made it. But again, speaking to my sources in the countryside where the president has huge support, it is a joyous mode out there.
Now, Julius, the run-up to the election was marred by a lot of violence. Are tensions better now, or is it still looking violent on the streets of Uganda?
Yes, you're right to talk about violence because we saw at the beginning of this week that was when Dr. Besigye was arrested. And as we speak now, Dr. Besigye has been arrested 3 times, more than 3 times in 1 week, and up to now is still being held at his house. So talking of violence, I'll just take you back to the statement that the president of the country made earlier after his voting. President Yoweri Museveni said that his government allow anyone to threaten violence. Now, this despite the few incidences we've seen, police colliding with supporters and sympathizers of the opposition. We saw just yesterday when the main opposition party, Forum for Democratic Change, wanted to hold a press conference to speak to the media. Now, there was suspicion that the opposition party wanted to announce its own results to tell the public what they had tallied. But again, when police stopped this, there was a very bitter exchange. Tear gas was fired, and this is when the main opposition candidate was arrested and several others.
Julius, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for the update. That was SABC correspondent in Uganda, Julius Mugambwa, giving us the latest on those elections. We'll have sports news for you after.